Good evening. Welcome to the third lecture of this lecture series, Physics with Partha. In this video, we are going to talk about kinetic theory of gases. So let's quickly revise the previous class. In our previous class, we have discussed about introduction to KTG, then some basic assumptions of KTG, and then calculation of pressure of an ideal gas. So in today's lecture, we are going to cover the translational kinetic energy of a gas. So when gases are moving randomly to and fro movement, then due to their translational motion, some kinetic energy is assigned, and that is translational kinetic energy in all the three dimensions. Next, kinetic interpretation of temperature. Then deduction from kinetic theory of gases, where we are going to cover some of the laws, basically Boyle's law, Serre's law of pressure, and Avogadro's law. Today we are going to cover. In the next lecture, we will cover some more laws in this deduction from KTG. Okay. Let's talk about the translational kinetic energy of a gas. In the left hand side, the picture is shown where we can see that the molecules of an ideal gas is assumed to be hard sphere. They are doing elastic collisions with the wall, which we have learned as the basic assumptions of KTG. Now the next thing is lots of empty spaces were present in the volume, which we are going to consider for our derivation. And then all molecules are in random motion. Now if we look at the derivation, translational kinetic energy of a gas, where it is written that total translational kinetic energy of a gas molecule is the total translational kinetic energy, meaning the translational kinetic energy of all the molecules. If there are 5 molecules, then translational kinetic energy of 5 molecules. If there are 10 molecules, then that of 10 molecules. And if there are n number of molecules, which we have shown by a symbol H, so that is K, total kinetic energy equal to summation over the kinetic energy of each molecule, half mv square, and whatever number of molecule is present here, we have summed the whole thing, which gives us the number as half small m capital N v square RMS. Why v square RMS? Because we are considering that each molecule, suppose molecule 1 is moving with velocity v, so we square that velocity. Molecule 2 is moving with velocity v2, we square that velocity v2. Like that, we will square v1 square, v2 square, v3 square, and then we will take a under root over v1 square, v2 square, v3 square, etc. And the result comes from there will be the RMS velocity, which is assigned to each of the molecule. So that is why we are considering v square RMS here. So half mn v square RMS, where capital N represents the number of molecule is capital N. The whole mass of the molecule, overall mass, is small m into capital N, where small m is the mass of one molecule, is given by capital M, which is small m into capital N. Next, average kinetic energy of a molecule. Now we are considering average kinetic energy of one molecule, that is capital K by capital N, which is given as it is shown. Next is, from the above relation, as we have learned in our previous class, that PV equal to 1/3 of capital M v square RMS. From there we have substituted the value as 2/3 into half of that mv square RMS. From there we can tell that, substituting the kinetic energy of a gas, we can tell that PV equal to 2/3 K, or kinetic energy equal to 3/2 of PV. So this is the total kinetic energy of all molecule in term of pressure and volume of the gas. So we cannot go and measure the velocity of each molecule individually, but what we can do is, we can measure the pressure overall, we can measure the volume overall, then we can tell that the total kinetic energy of molecules is 3/2 PV. Okay, let's talk about the kinetic interpretation of temperature. As we already know, hotter body means higher temperature and colder body means lower temperature. Now this again hints that higher temperature means more kinetic energy of those gas molecules, and that is more internal energy. Now if lower temperature, it means less internal energy, which we already learned in our first lecture, the heat and temperature. Next, we know that kinetic energy equal to half capital M v square RMS, which is given in our previous slide. Now capital M is the mass of all the gas molecule, which is constant for a particular volume we are considering. Half is a constant, so this is constant. Half capital M is constant. So kinetic energy is a function of v square RMS. Now as we already know, internal energy of a system is a function of temperature, and then indication of temperature is the indication of temperature means the internal energy is indicated by the temperature of the system, which is again equal to kinetic energy. From there we can tell that kinetic energy is a function of V square RMS. That is why internal energy or temperature is a function of V square RMS. Now at temperature, let us consider that at temperature capital T, we consider a volume capital V of pressure P and velocity V RMS. So PV is given by 1/3 of m V square RMS. Now at triple point of water, that is temperature 273.16 Kelvin, at that point temperature is T triple point, volume is V, pressure is P triple point, velocity is V triple point. Then P triple point into V equal to 1/3 of capital M V square triple point. Now if we take the ratio of these two, then we can get that pressure by pressure at triple point is given as V square RMS by V square at triple point. Now we know that pressure by pressure of triple point equal to temperature by 273.16 Kelvin. This relation we have got from our first lecture. Now from here we can tell that from 1 and 2, temperature is represented as 273.16 Kelvin divided by V square at triple point into V square RMS. The first term in the bracket is a constant. That is why temperature is expressed as a function of V square RMS of the gas molecule. Now let us talk about a special case. That is, we are going to talk about a gas mixture of A and B, where the mass of the molecule of gas A is m1 and the mass of the molecules of gas B is m2. The absolute temperature of a given gas is proportional to the square of RMS speed, which we have learned just now. Hence, temperature is proportional to kinetic energy. Now at thermal equilibrium, the average kinetic energy of all molecules is same, which is an assumption of kinetic theory of gases. Then in this mixture of A and B, kinetic energy of A is equal to kinetic energy of B, that is half m1 v1 square equal to half m2 v2 square. So these are different. So here we can observe that mass of the molecules of gas A is different than that of B. That is why V square RMS is also different. So the deduction from this discussion is that if we are given a gas mixture, then we can tell that the average kinetic energy of all molecules will be same whether the molecule is coming from gas A or molecule is coming from gas B. But we cannot tell that the V square velocity of gas molecules from A and V square velocity from gas molecule of B will be same. That means to say that the RMS speed of the gas molecule of both A and B will be different or may be different. But the kinetic energy, average kinetic energy of that mixture will be constant. Okay. Let's talk about some deduction from kinetic theory of gases, where we will learn Boyle's law, Searle's law, Church's law of pressure, and Avogadro's law. Before going to that, first let us introduce the state variables, where we can see that the pressure, temperature, and volume are called state variable because they define the thermodynamic state of a gas. That means if we know the pressure, temperature, and volume of a gas, we can tell about the thermodynamic state of that gas, and their interrelation we can deduct. Now let's talk about Boyle's law, where at constant temperature and constant mass, pressure and volume is given by the product of pressure and volume is 1/3 of m and V square RMS, where V square RMS is constant. That means pressure and volume is constant, and we can tell that pressure is inversely proportional to volume. This is the statement of Boyle's law. Now let's talk about Searle's law. So we are given mass of a gas at constant pressure, then pressure and volume product will give us 1/3 of m and V square RMS. From there we can tell that since pressure is constant, V volume is also will be proportional to temperature. Okay, V square RMS is proportional to temperature, other things are constant, then volume of the gas is proportional to temperature. This is the definition of Searle's law. Now Searle's law of pressure, it tells us that at a certain volume, a given mass of gas, then pressure is proportional to V square RMS. From there we can tell that pressure is proportional to temperature. This is Searle's law of pressure. Now let's talk about Avogadro's law. Avogadro's law tells that at same temperature capital T and pressure P, equal volume of all gases contains the same number of molecules. That is, if we are considering hydrogen gas, if we are considering argon gas, if we are considering some other gas at constant temperature and pressure, if they behave like a ideal gas, then the equal volume of all gases will contain the same number of molecules. That is, PV is given as 1/3 of N1 M1 V1 square, where we have considered that of gas N1 there are capital N1 number of molecule of mass M1 and V1 is their average speed or RMS speed. Now PV equal to, for the second type of gas, it is 1/3 of N2 M2 into V2 square. From 1 and 2 we can tell that since temperature and pressure is constant, then equal volume of gas is considered, so PV is constant for them both. So if we equate, then we will get that N1 M1 V1 square equal to N2 M2 V2 square. From there we can tell that average kinetic energy at same temperature is also constant. From there, half M1 V1 square is equal to half M2 V2 square. Then we can deduct that N1 equal to N2. That is, this is the definition of Avogadro's law, which tells us that at same temperature and pressure, equal volume of all gases contain the same number of molecules. There are some other deduction from kinetic theory of gases which we will learn in our subsequent lecture. So I hope the discussion of today's lecture is clear to you. So if you have any query or doubt or any clarification discussion is needed, then you are asked to mail, or you can type the question in Facebook also. So thank you for attending the lecture, and soon enough we will discuss our next lecture and some other laws which are deducted from kinetic theory of gases. So stay connected. Thank you.